I'm still under fair use. And let me let you hear, you gotta love it, so you can understand how disrespectful Cam was being to Jay. For Jay to send allegedly for Jay to recruit Tru Life to the Roc-A-Fella label, which failed. Another failing CEO operation of Jay-Z's. Roc-A-Fella failed. S. Carter failed. Carter faculty failed. For all y'all to be nut hugging, acting like this nigga had, like he's this super great CEO, which he wasn't. But Tru Life was signed to Roc-A-Fella, right? And this is what I hate about how they use Tru Life, right? Because Tru Life became what Jim was for Cam for Jay, right? And they both, you see where Jim eventually winded up at, right? Having a hit record, having a rap career, and being able to go on to right now where he ain't got to be podcasting. That's what Cam probably mad at. Jim's still rapping. He's still making money on rapping, nigga. You over here sitting with the pastor, nigga. The pastor that came back and started cursing again and left and became a pastor again, and then came back and now he murdered again and cursing and carrying on. Like, get the fuck out of here. This nigga sitting over there with the fucking cursing pastor. You know, like, yo, man. Let's just get into the song, man.
Dipset. Before I set it off, okay, pardon me, Dipset. I know you. I know you like that. I remember Dave sold you his old Pathfinder. Chipped in for the GS. You Jazz old son. Where's Source Money at? Where are they at? I'm gonna get back to all that. Dipset, dog. Round one. Let the games begin, dog. I'm laughing at your ugly ass no more. You ugly, dog. You ugly. You ugly, man. You ugly. My man Hud said you look like Fraggle Rock and all that. You old outbounds, nigga. Get back to you, nigga. Oh shit, yo, dude. Make sure you got them old vocals. Bring them up real quick.
So this, right, and then you can hear Max B's on the hook. That's Max B on the hook, if you didn't know, right? This is when, before Max B and Jim fell out, this is, niggas is heavy. Niggas is strong. Niggas is rocking. Jim got his shit going. He got his little Bird Gang crew. Cam is still popping. You know what I'm saying? Jay was like, okay, send the dogs in, right? And then that's when this happened. Yo, papi.
Tru Life is on the phone. Let's go to the phone.
What's up, man? What's up, baby? How you feeling this morning,
I'm
man?
feeling good this morning, man. Now, I was out there last night, and I saw the argument that you had with Cam. What happened, man?
Yeah, what set it off?
Man, I'll tell you the truth, man. You know, these girls been lying on me, man. The Spice Girls been lying on me a whole lot, you know, and they've been going on record saying disrespectful things, trying to rip apart Jay-Z. They trying to rip apart me. They trying to rip apart Nas. You know, Nas got 13.
Now, when was Jay, I mean, Jim ever beefing with Jay-Z. Not until after the ball and shit, right? And that came after, right? So once again, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all to keep trying to tell me something. Allegedly, Tru Life was not his beef wasn't with Jim. He just had to show Cam that Jim ain't no fucking strength, nigga. We'll come and get you, nigga. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But if you hear what he say in the interview, niggas was disrespecting Jay and niggas was disrespecting Nas. You know what I'm saying? They whoa. Why would he even give a fuck? Right? Pardon my French. Right? Why would he care if that Jay, they dissing Jay? Why would he care? Unless it was beneficial for him, right? Then he got signed to Roc-A-Fella, right? Or Roc-A-Fella, whatever it is, right? Why? Okay. So it's the same thing with y'all with the with Gene Squill talking about this check that Diddy allegedly supposed to pay dudes to a check. Y'all be going, yo, who would pay for a check? Who would give a check to kill somebody? It's called money. It's washing money laundering, however you want to look at it, right? When I got jumped by Jay's people, being that it was Dame's fault, the way Dame was going to compensate me, even though Jay paid me directly, Dame was compensating me by signing my artist. So if I would have did the deal with my artist was only getting signed to Roc-A-Fella because I got jumped. That was Dame's way of paying me, right? So he was going to sign my artist. So if my artist if that whole shit didn't crumble and my artist wasn't a fucking snake, right? They would have got signed to Roc-A-Fella as compensation to me. I would have got paid that way. So how would a nigga write a check for a murder? Say I got somebody murked for Dame, or I killed somebody for Dame, and he said, "Yo, nigga, for doing that, nigga, I'm gonna sign your artist. That's how you gonna get your bread." So let's not play stupid out here when y'all be talking that. Who's going to sign the check for a murder? The check is going to say it's for something else, right? But you know what it's for, goddamn it. Now, going back to the situation with Jay-Z signing Tru Life, and then Tru Life having a problem with Cam and them niggas talking about Jay-Z. And he's saying that because they veterans in the game and niggas, he don't give a fuck about me. Like, you think if he wasn't getting a bag or an opportunity or something like that, he care about Cameron dissing anybody in the world? Come on, man, put y'all thinking caps on. All right? And say it wasn't about Jim. Jim was the underdog.
I'm feeling good this morning, man. Now, I was out there last night and I saw the argument that you had with Cam. What happened, man?
Yeah, what set it off?
Man, I'll tell you the truth, man. You know, these girls been lying on me, man. The Spice Girls been lying on me a whole lot, you know, and they've been going on record saying disrespectful things, trying to rip apart Jay-Z. They trying to rip apart me. They trying to rip apart Nas. You know, Nas got 13, 14 albums. Jay got about 15 albums himself. Coming as veterans, they've been disrespectful to hip-hop. They not good for hip-hop. They promoting gang violence to the children, to the youth. I'm a positive fellow. My name is Tru Life. Tru Life stands for the righteous uniting everybody living in a fantasy environment. I'm not on no wild wannabe gangster stuff, but if somebody calls me out and says they want to fight with me or they want to fight with me as a man, we can do it like men with their hands. It is what it is. So, you know, I feel like, you know, they running around, they said they had 50 downs and they wanted to fight me. You know, Jim just got punched in his eye. last week he ain't want to fight, and this man the same thing, man. So it's like I don't even really like the result of that, and I feel like I sound like an idiot, and I want to apologize on the sake of hip hop, but it's like this thing is personal between us. This ain't really no.
Now you heard him say Jim got punched in his eye, and which call it. Then he said, and then this guy, he got the same thing, and he didn't do nothing. He saw my Cam. He walked up on Cam, and Cam was with Big Joe. This is why you don't see Cam with Big Joe no more. And he told Cam, he told Joe, Joe, if you move, my man gonna pop your top. He ran right up on Cam, punched Cam in the face, and Cam ain't do nothing. But I'll let him tell it.
In a fantasy environment, I'm not on no wild want to be gangster stuff, but if somebody calls me out and says they want to fight with me or they want to fight with me as a man, we can do it like men with their hands. It is what it is. So I feel like they running around, they said they had 50 downs and they wanted to fight me. Jim just got punched in his eye last week. He ain't want to fight, and this man the same thing, man. So it's like I don't even really like the result of that, and I feel like I sound like an idiot, and I want to apologize on the sake of hip hop, but it's like this thing is personal between us. This ain't really I got a personal vendetta with these kids, and I feel like you trying to stop my kids from eating, man, and you talking about you want to fight and all that stuff. Y'all want to fight, then we can fight, and we fight like men.
But
I came with two people.
True. It's Egypt, baby. Now, listen, I hear you. I know you want, trying to be on some positive stuff, but, is there any truth to the rumor that is going around right now that you got Jim Jones jump and that you have his ring? You're wearing his ring.
We didn't get him jump. A 19-year-old kid from my neighborhood punched him in his eye as well. So now they could be twins. Him and him and the girls, Jenny Jones and old girl, they could be twins. You know what I'm saying?
Well, are you wearing his ring?
Yeah, I got the ring on. I put it in their face yesterday and showed them the ring. Like, what's cracking, man? This what y'all want to get cracking? This what y'all telling the kids you got 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids in New York City. You convincing them to be bloods and going to school and cutting each other in the face, the blood in, and y'all acting like y'all certified tough guys and being these images on TV, man. I grew up hating them type of people in my neighborhood. I feel like they ruined my life. I'm not one of them kind of people is what I want people to understand. People think that I'm this wannabe tough guy gangster who's on DVDs and ain't got no talent. I want my talent to speak for itself. To be honest, I don't even really want madness, man. I got my album is executive produced by Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. I don't need none of this extra stuff right here.
I heard you yell. Hey, Tru, last night I heard you yelling, I'm not Jay-Z. I'm not in the air. I hear blank's corny raps.
I'm in the streets. I'm in the streets all day. I'm not in the air, so I got to deal with all of that. I don't fly around in G4s. I don't have that luxury. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a humble young fellow who rides around, and I ride around in a little van. I don't even got a Benz, none of that. I live a comfortable, regular life, man. I'm trying to feed my family and feed my kids. Even if you getting that Jay, I know Jim very well and personally, so even if I feel like he owes me more respect, man. I once protected this kid. I once squashed beef him in L.A. He's trying to run around. They try to blackmail me with a videotape. This thing gets real ugly and it gets real deep, like things that they've done. I don't really want to keep talking about it. I feel like I've moved on from all of this right here. I don't want this right here. I don't want to make records, but these guys are threatening me on records. They're saying they're going to do this. They're saying they're going to do that. So when you see me, you're going to have to live up to that. Right. I only had 2 people with me, man. You got 7-foot bouncers with you. You know what I'm saying? Who you got on the payroll who you need to fire. Because this is the second incident, and you need to fire them, B. Like, you got...
He talking about Big Joe right there. Shout out Big Joe. That's my nigga. Big Joe said, nigga, I ain't never been Cameron's goddamn bodyguard. Big Joe said, nigga, I ain't Cameron's bodyguard. I'm his partner. I got money with anybody at Dipset. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't Cam's goddamn bodyguard. I was his partner. I got money with everybody except for Jim Jones. You know what I mean? I wasn't his bodyguard. But everybody thought Joe was the bodyguard. You know when Black Rob said, get out of line, I get the G.I. Joe. D-I-C-K riders ain't whoa.
owes me more respect, man. I once protected this kid. I once squashed beef him in L.A. He's trying to run around. They try to blackmail me with a videotape. This thing gets real ugly and it gets real deep, like things that they've done. I don't really want to keep talking about it. I feel like I've moved on from all of this right here. I don't want this right here. I don't want to make records, but you know these guys are threatening me on records. They're saying they're going to do this. They're saying they're going to do that. So when you see me, you're going to have to live up to that.
Right.
I only had 2 people with me, man. You got 7-foot bouncers with you. You know what I'm saying? Who you got on the payroll who you need to fire. Because this is the second incident, and you need to fire them, B. Like, you got these big dudes on the payroll for no reason because they ain't popping off with you, and you got your goons with you. You know, they on the goony go-goos, and they talk about their bloods and all that, but then they don't pop off.
True.
You know, I kind of socked him in his eye. And, you know, after I socked him in his eye, he started to cry. When I saw a grown man cry, who I thought once was a gangster, you know, because if you're a gangster, then I don't really have no sympathy. You think you're a gangster and you this blood and you crazy and you this guy that I grew up hating from my neighborhood, then I don't have no sympathy. But if you just a regular dude, like you ain't on it like that, I have a little sympathy. I'm not a bully. That's not, you know, a fight happens when 2 people fight, not when 1 person. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. These dudes is running around talking like they want to fight with me, and you know, if they want to fight with me, I'm here. They go on the radio and make these shows and get them AR and send their little goons to make records about. You know, you trying to stop me from eating. You trying to stop my kids from eating. I got 2 kids, man. That ain't gonna go down like that, man. You know, he went and played this whole Hollywood role. I got Duke the God on the phone. Stop me from eating. I got a problem with that. So I'm like, if anybody want to get up, we could get up and we can handle it like men, man. Call Jim up. Here's my cell phone number. I gave them my cell phone number. Me and Jim once hung out before. You know how to get at me. So
Right.
like I tried to get at him off the record and tried to squash it so that it didn't have to escalate or it didn't have to go nowhere. It didn't have to go to records and it had to go to violence and it had to go to nothing. But if he wanted violence, me and him could have fought like men, squared up like men. We could have laughed about it and went drank beers afterwards.
Well, Tru, I hope y'all come to some kind of conclusion on this, man, because I don't want to see anybody on either side of this thing get seriously hurt, man. And God bless you and God bless Cam, man. I appreciate you calling this morning.
God bless y'all. But okay, bye, y'all. But I just want them to stop, you know, promoting the whole gang violence in our neighborhood.
Everybody needs to stop.
Everybody needs to stop. Y'all need to stop that violence for real, son. I'm gonna holler at you on a person.
So, like I said, Jay-Z, in my opinion, Jay-Z signed him to get him to go at them to let them know that they wasn't strong or whatever, or they could be a problem, in my opinion, allegedly, right? But